Hi, I'm Darryn Farrugia and welcome. In this video I'm going to address a very common problem that not many people seem to talk about, and that is the issue of a weakness that occurs between the left hand and right foot. Now I'm talking specifically if you are a right-handed, right-footed drummer. So this same weakness can occur if you're a left-handed, left-footed drummer. So that means for me as a right-handed, right-footed drummer, I write with my right hand and I would kick a ball with my right foot. It may not necessarily apply if you're a right-footed, left-handed or vice versa. So let me go into some detail here. If you're a right-handed, right-footed drummer, when you play a unison between those two limbs, chances are that the unison is actually going to be quite accurate. So when you think about it, if you're playing a rock groove, you're playing your bass drum on 1 and 3, your hi-hat is playing 8th notes, so that means that your right hand and right foot are playing an exact unison on beats 1 and beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So by the very nature of playing a groove like this, we are strengthening that relationship between the right hand and the right foot, the strong hand and the strong foot. We run into problems when we have to play unisons between the left hand and the right foot. This is not a very strong relationship. Have a think about it. Our right foot, right hand relationship is strong for the reasons that I just explained. Also things like when you play a fill, chances are that when you play that fill, you're going to play a crash with the right hand, again in unison with the bass drum. Our hand-to-hand relationship or coordination is also strong. Our left hand and right hand work very well together because we are, again, using that rock beat as an example. On 2 and 4, the unisons between the hi-hat and the snare drum, the right hand and the left hand, if you're a right-handed drummer, they're being strengthened. Whenever you play any kind of sticking pattern, single stroke roll, double stroke roll, any sort of rudiment, again, the hand-to-hand coordination is strong. So the weak relationship ends up being, the left hand and the right foot. So it's important that we strengthen this. It's important that we're able to play a very strong, accurate unison between these two limbs in order to make our grooves feel tight. So what I'm going to do now is play an exercise for you. It's part of a series of exercises that I give my students, and I call these exercises anti-flammatory exercises. So the point of this exercise is that it initially exposes that weak relationship, and secondly, because we've exposed it, we can fix it. So here's the exercise. I'm going to play a single paradiddle between the hi-hat and the snare drum. I'm going to play each downbeat as an accent. The hi-hat accent will be played with the shoulder of the stick. The hi-hat non-accent with the tip of the stick. In this instance, I'm going to play the left-hand accent as a rim shot, and the left-hand non-accents, they're going to be ghost strokes, so they're going to be played quite low. The dynamics are important, and the reason why they're important is that we have a better chance of playing an accurate unison between the left hand and the right foot, or the snare drum and the bass drum, when we play an accent. Usually when we play non-accents on the snare drum or ghost strokes, they have a better chance of being inaccurate with the bass drum. So let me just play you that hand pattern between the hi-hat and snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is where things get interesting. So what we're going to do is play the bass drum in unison with the left hand rhythm. It's going to be tricky. Let's see how we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm not exactly sure that my success rate was great. I mean, there were a few things that I heard that weren't quite as accurate as I would like to hear, but certainly those inaccuracies are more likely to occur when you play non-accents or ghost strokes on the snare drum that are in unison with the bass drum. Here's another exercise to expose this problem. You could take any kind of paradiddle you like. It could be a single paradiddle, or in this case, a paradiddle diddle. And what I'm going to do is play the right hand accents on the ride, the left hand accents on a closed hi-hat. So we've got right, left, and then the right, right, left, left is going to be played on the snare drum. So let me just play that for you. We're in 3/4, remember? 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So the next step is to add the bass drum to the accents. And when I get students to do this, particularly with this rudiment, the paradiddle diddle, there's always this inaccuracy that occurs between the left hand on the hi-hat and the bass drum. Here's what it should sound like. 1, 2, 3. So it's very common for those left hand, right foot unisons to be inaccurate. Another way that you can expose this problem is to play a hand-to-hand 16th note groove on the hi-hat with the snare drum on 2 and 4, sort of 70s disco style. And play the bass drum on some of the offbeats, on the E's and the R's. I'll choose some random notes to play on the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that type of exercise is also good for exposing this problem that we have. So what I'll do now is demonstrate and play the groove or the pattern that you heard at the start of this video. So let me break this down for you. The pattern that I was playing was a double paradiddle as triplets. Let me just give you the sticking. Right, left, right, left, right, right. Left, right, left, right, left, left. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. I'm going to play that between the ride cymbal and the snare drum. There's an accent on beat 1 and an accent on beat 3, and I'm counting this as triplets. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. What we want to do is add a bass drum pattern to this, whereby some of the notes will fall in unison with a non-accented note on the snare drum, and then there will also be bass drum notes that will fall with the accent on the snare drum. So the foot pattern that I'm using is this. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. What I'll do is play that foot pattern underneath that double paradiddle hand pattern, right hand on the ride cymbal, left hand on the snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's quite hard to do at that tempo, and I'm particularly focusing on the non-accented note on the snare drum, or that ghost stroke that's in unison with the bass drum note. That's actually a hard one to get accurate. Let me take that up to speed. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to do two more things with this. I'm going to replace the right-hand part of this pattern with half notes. So I'm going to play a note on beat 1 and then another note on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That groove will sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So all we've done is retained the left-hand part of that double paradiddle and added half notes to the ride cymbal. It's starting to sound more like a hip-hop groove, I guess. By removing those right-hand notes from the ride cymbal, it puts a little bit more responsibility on the left hand. It puts the focus back on the left hand. It's a little bit harder to do, but it's definitely worth, again, exposing these weaknesses. The third element is to remove the right hand altogether so that we're just playing the left hand and the right foot. In this case, I've got the hi-hat on 2 and 4, so I'm going to keep that. That would sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'll do now is I'll play through those 3 versions of that groove. The original version, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. And then the second version where I just play the half notes on the ride cymbal. And then the third version where I play no right hand at all. I'll just loop these patterns a few times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So these are some exercises that you can practice with the aim of improving the quality of your unisons between your left hand and right foot, if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, just swap everything around. Also, whenever I practice any kind of groove, I do like to remove the right hand altogether so that I'm just playing the left hand snare drum and right foot bass drum. So just snare drum and bass drum without having to rely on the right hand for accuracy. Again, just exposing those two limbs and getting them to work well together is really key to making a groove feel good. In a future video, I'm going to talk about the elements of playing time and playing grooves that, you know, to some degree I feel are a little overlooked. Controversial, I know. Before I head off, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. I'm uploading content every week, which I hope is useful to you out there. And also remember to hit the notification bell so that you know when I've posted a video. So there you go. Have fun, enjoy practicing these exercises, and I will see you next week. Bye. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Let me do all of that again.